Right, hi everyone. This is the Ealing Course Zoom report. We've got Wes there. You want to say hello, Wes?
Hey everyone.
You got Ollie down there. Say hello, everyone, Ollie.
Hello.
Strange old times, I think it's fair to say. And I've pretty much been stuck at home. So as you can see behind me, you've got a nice picture of me as a kid and my wife there. Jenny went to school. Everyone, I was obviously in the top class, and Jenny was down the bottom end, as everyone probably knows. But the idea of this is we sent out an email on Tuesday asking for questions. We had a great response. Had 20 emails come in with multiple questions. Actually, Drew Neal sent one email with every single question. So the questions that we answer, they will answer all of Drew's questions. So, really great response, and actually the feedback from the emails was really positive, and that was really really good to hear, because obviously it's quite worrying times for golf clubs, golf courses. We're still 3 weeks away from a potential ease of restrictions, but as you can guess, the guys have been busy out on the golf course. Maintaining. A lot of members said that as they're walking through. Actually, a couple of questions. One question has been about members, whether they're allowed to walk the golf course, and ultimately we encourage that. It's great to see. What great facility for the members to see. We generally don't want too much public out there, but that's hard to stop sometimes. But if the members would like to come down and do that safely, obviously following government guidelines, and the main thing for us is the staff, that members won't go up to the staff, so we're trying to keep them as safe as possible. But we would encourage that. But the guys have been obviously very busy, and I thought we'd do this in two parts. We're going to do this first part's going to be talking to the guys, and you'll see a little talk now and some photos of what's been going on out on the golf course. And then the second part is going to go on to some questions that I've got. As I say, I've got about probably 15 questions that, again, we can answer. All right, so I'll lead over to Wes. Wes, I think you're going to update us on what's going on out there.
Yeah, cheers, mate. So it's a bit of, like Greg said, it's a bit of a weird time for everyone. I've seen a few members walking around the course, but just generally, I know I sort of put it in a last report that I did, but we've got 4 guys currently working Monday to Friday, 8 hours a day. We've been varying the times that we start depending on weather conditions and frosts, and we haven't had too many of those. But so a little bit more relaxed environment, really, because obviously no golfers means no stress, no time constraints of getting around the golf course. So that's been one side of things, which is very different from the team. There's no sort of real push to actually get things done really quickly, which is quite nice, but also allowed us to focus on basically essential cutting, which is pretty much all we've been doing, bar focusing on immediate repairs, which we've need to do on irrigation systems, and now slowly starting moving into spraying chemicals and feeding the actual plant. So just essential maintenance, basically. We've been sort of cutting greens for the first few weeks. I think for the first 3 weeks, we pretty much didn't cut the greens, pretty much because we had renovations on March the 16th, and I don't think I basically put a mower onto the green until 3 weeks after that. So again, something that we've never done before, because we have to get the surfaces back in place. So quite interesting. Collars, tees, we've been cutting once a week, fairways once a week, and slowly now, I think we're 4 weeks in, we've been upping the cutting only just now, really. Ollie will tell you the main focus was really getting control of the rough, which was obviously very hard on 4 people because of the grass through the winter, and coming out of the wet was so long, and we couldn't cut it. And then suddenly it went from places you couldn't drive to rock hard and growing like mad. So they're the main things, really. They're the tests.
I think that was definitely a bit of the catch-22 that people maybe don't quite realise is, we've got sort of the free reign of the golf course, but now we've got less staff, and as Greg always says, the stuff's jumping out the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, you sort of, the pressure's sort of on in a different way now, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, not getting the place ready for golf, and the time pressure isn't there, but it's sort of staying on top of it now. Now we've sort of hit that growing season. And that's definitely a change in pressure that I've noticed.
What about obviously one question was from Rob Jones. It's very wet prior to the lockdown period, and basically asking how it's playing now, and also I guess you've had some tidying up to do after the winter rains.
Yeah, maybe we'll just go. You, Ollie, go. I can only assume it's playing pretty firm. Fairways are definitely completely dried up. I know there'll be some questions on it, especially coming out of the winter. 8-1, for example, a complete flip. Really firm. I'm sure the ball will be flying if you're off the tee shots. And coming out of winter, like a lot faster. Not what you expect on putting greens yet, because obviously we're not really maintaining that. But fairways naturally in the ground around the greens will get that sort of bouncy, firm, quick chipping, that sort of play. What was Rob's second part of his question? Sorry.
Basically, is there that much damage? Has there been much repair for the last 3-4 weeks? Go on.
More. Yeah, I mean, more so this year than definitely the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Wes often sort of chat and smile to ourselves that we know the drainage has been working, because we haven't had to been going out patching up fairways where they just sit wet and the grass just rots and dies.
I remember that
used to be a yearly thing.
Do you remember Derek?
Oh, Deza, turf master.
Well, this is a bit of an in-house joke, everyone, but poor Derek joined us for the summer and probably spent the first 2 months patching up multiple fairways. So I'd agree with you there, actually, Ollie, because I've been there a lot longer, probably 15 years, 30 years as a member, 15 years associated with the club. And every spring was just like groundhog situation. I think you have done a little bit of patching up though, but were they on non-drained areas? Is that right?
Yeah. So areas we haven't gone into. So bottom of the 8th, where minimal bits are, bits on the first. Again, bottom of the first where there isn't any drainage in. So that's probably been one sign to me that's definitely been a much wetter winter, and again, highlights those areas without the drainage in.
Yeah, it's always that front of the first. Well, what I've noticed over the last decade of doing this drainage work is the areas that were never too bad. When you do a drainage area, they just get highlighted. So, and it's sometimes quite mentally tough, because you feel like you're never actually going to get to the end of it, because there's always another area to go in and drain. And that area by the front of the first, as you walk on the fairway, was always a bit wet. I mean, people forget that, but it was always a bit wet. But blimey, was it wet this winter? It was one extreme to the other.
Yeah, it really was.
Another question we've got here is from Paul Swift, basically saying, if you can tell us where we are with the golf course, and asking, is it, the way I consider the golf course should be is on standby. That's a bit of a challenge with 4 greenkeepers, but are we still on the aim of 24 to 48 hours after lockdown eases to open? Is that still the aim down there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the 48 hours thing, I know we've sort of discussed it in the 3 of us, but it's a good question. We're already sort of planning what we're trying to do with our staff, but regards to the golf course and getting it ready for what I think Ealing have come to expect, I would say it's probably not possible to do in a quick 2 days. The cutting, I think, of the golf course and general presentation, I think we're pretty happy with. There's a few things we're not. But it's the presentation side, I think, at the moment is miles behind, just because we haven't actually got the time with 4 people to do that.
Yeah.
By the time you cut something, one of the 4 people is pretty much going round. I know we've been talking, it'd be great to try and have like a week's head start leading up to when the course opens, whether we'll be able to do that or not. But I think generally it won't be too much of a push to get the course playable for members. And I think as long as they have a general understanding, which why we're doing these videos, that it won't quite, be top notch basically. But I don't know what Ollie's take on that is.
I mean, I think the big thing was getting on top of the rough, getting on control of the growth. I agree with Wes. I think we're just the finer details that are lacking. But I think, to be honest, that's to be expected. Just with the lesser numbers. In terms of getting it back round, I think we all know how good the greens are here at Ealing. Once we get a couple rolls and we get the cutting frequency back up, I think you've all seen how quickly we can get them back after a maintenance week. So I think greens and what you guys expect from that side of things, I think we'll push to get that there. And that shouldn't be too difficult. But it'll just be a few of the sort of finer details.
I think knowing April's always a tough month anyway, because you go from wet winter normally into a sort of a dry period where the weather's lovely at the moment, but it's just gone very crusty. So April to me at Ealing's always a bit of a transition month. And then the target is always the spring meeting, which is the first weekend in May. Which I always feel is a little bit early for us. We just about get there sometimes, but the course really starts coming into its own mid-May to me onwards. Hopefully, looking at the government press conferences, that should tie in with a bit of play. So by the time they're talking about the 8th of May when they review the next lockdown, and what I think we're all hoping as a country is that we start easing some of these restrictions and get a little bit of play out there. I think there still will restrictions, but I'm hoping that we get some golf out there. So okay.
Greg, I just thought as well, just a quick one, it's always a good thing, financially wise, obviously, as us the managers of our area, our unit of the club, we've tried to be very financially subconscious and responsible for what we're doing. So we have stopped certain things from being bought, spending money, which at the moment we're not comfortable with spending. So the finer details me and Ollie might be talking about is paths, bunkers, things we had contractors organised, we had projects organised, have taken it back, and financially we've just done that because it's not a sensible thing to do, spending money you might not have. So we've paused.
That's a very good point. I mean, obviously you've got 4 there at the moment. The others are on the government retention scheme, the furlough scheme. So there's been some cost savings there. It is a good point because we had the paths to be redone by a contractor that was not going to cost a huge amount of money, but we've held that back. Obviously painting up the course furniture, it's been held back. So we have held some of that back, and the course has in effect been on essential spending for the last 4 weeks, probably 5 weeks. So we're just holding it there. So that is a good point. I agree with that. Wes, I think you've got some pictures to entice the members with. Is that right? Showing what's going on out there.
So I'll just get these up in large. And basically, I know Rob asked about damage and stuff. Obviously, the guys, all the members had seen the first hole. Obviously, we had some issues with that. First of all, water from the winter, and then sort of been hit with leather jackets, which are everywhere. There's a lot of golf clubs in the country really struggling. I've had a lot of friends send me pictures of courses back home, which are basically no grass anywhere. So definitely going to be a big problem moving forward. But just straight away, first thing I did on, I think the Saturday, when we got put on lockdown, rolled out there on the Saturday morning, no one around, and pretty much cored the first fairway, which looked like that on the Saturday. So I'm basically just removing plugs out of the ground. I then blew all those off the next Monday, and then started overseeding. That's basically what it looks when you have the cores.
Okay.
So I'm then trying to put seed into the holes, because they basically act as sort of germination pods. They sort of get humid, wet, and they keep water within that hole that I've just made. Yeah. With the weather that we've got, the seed sort of germinates out of the hole and basically starts recovery in that area. Then blew all that off, seeded that, top dressed that with, and we're even using waste sand on the fairway, so we're not just on that one area that I did because it was so poor, to basically not use any money, putting out sand that we're paying sort of £600 for 20 tons. And again, just a drop spreader, straight vertical seed straight into the hole. And
are you getting any germination yet out of those?
Yeah, I think we saw the first bit probably maybe 4 days ago, Ollie, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, about that. It's been good. Seeing quite a bit of germination around the course, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one big benefit of doing that, you've got no foot traffic, no trolleys, no bogies, nothing.
Yeah.
And basically, we haven't driven on it since I've done that, so it's starting to fill in now. Hopefully, by May, we'll start seeing a bit of recovery.
Just to let the members know, leather jackets is quite a big worry, actually. I know we've got the coronavirus, which is a huge worry, but the leather jackets for the future is quite a big concern because our insecticides have really reduced. We do have one on an emergency approval that we spray greens, teas and approaches with, and generally that's done very well. But the fairway's been left to their own for the last 5-6 years since the last insecticide was on the market. So not just at Ealing, though. I'm seeing this across golf courses across the country. So it's a big concern. And there's two issues with leather jackets. One, the crows and the birds peck for them. So, you can peck an area to death, in effect. And then the other issue is that the little grubs, they feed on the plant and, in effect, suck the life out of them. So, which is what we saw in the first. The first was just had like almost a slow death. That's the renovation to get that back, basically. So, okay, all right, yeah. So, what was your next one? Your next one was on irrigation, was it?
Yeah, irrigation. I just had I've started putting in some pictures. This was probably, I think, when we first went on lockdown.
Amazing.
So while Ollie and the boys were out cutting rough, you can even see at the bottom of this picture how long it is.
Yeah.
The 3 guys were basically cutting the golf course. I was firing up the system and checking everything. Everyone sort of discussed this essential maintenance, what we should and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
The first thing, Greg will always tell you, the big sort of investment is the bit the members can't see, and it's probably in your irrigation system and your machinery. So it's vital that it's working properly. So the first week and a bit on and off, we just kept on testing everything. And then from then on in, fixing and digging holes, which I definitely know a couple of guys who walk around the course, saw me buried in a hole every single day, rewiring systems and stuff. This is just generally...
But speaking to you, I think, you've done a lot of work on that, haven't you? And that no doubt will benefit the course as we go into May, June, July. So, I know you were doing a lot of work there, but it was very important, I think, at that stage, because that was sort of mid-March to late March. And very quickly, when we went into lockdown, irrigation contractors basically put their staff on furlough. That's what I was saying is, if you were firing your system up after the lockdown situation, you had a major problem. No one's coming to you. And I know they've started easing that now, and some are coming back. But it's the lead time on an irrigation contractor coming to a course at the moment is anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks. So I think that was well done, Wes, and very beneficial, basically. So good.
Yeah, I mean, we're still going around trying to fix stuff, but same as anything. With 4 guys, once you get to a happy-ish place, you have to then prioritise.
Yeah.
What the next thing is to constantly keep moving
That's right.
around the golf course. So, to be honest, if we didn't have this, I'd probably still be digging holes now, which I will have to go back into at some point. But it's constantly rolling around. Even on Easter Saturday, I woke up and system had gone down, and there was 6 hours sort of on a Saturday morning doing that, which made Emma really happy.
Yeah, I bet it did.
General pictures. This was probably week and a half in, 2 weeks in. Classic frosty morning. That's for example there. Like Joe might be coming in 7:30, near enough 8 o'clock in the morning. Basically, just instead of wasting his time being at work, not cutting anything, which basically all the guys have been doing. We'll start later, and then if we're comfortable, we'll finish later. But then obviously we've got the guys for 8 hours, and then they can crack on rather than sit around basically marking up all the grass. But even then, starting to look quite nice. I think I can zoom in on this to give you the members a bit of a better idea. So I was sort of looking after Fern in the morning. The guy started off and ran up onto the field, the third hill. This is because it looks really cool with the sun coming up. Guys out cutting. This is probably the first time we went on collars, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
So again, pretty early on, a bit frosty in the morning. Swings around to the 4th fairway. So it gives you an idea. There's Joe again.
Yeah, no, it's lovely. So I mean, it doesn't take long for it to switch, does it? From a wet winter to all of a sudden a dry, crusty spring. Cut these areas.
Definitely.
I mean, that's one thing people might note, or it's always one of our favourite days, and they'll definitely notice when they come back, the maze of hoops and ropes have disappeared. It's definitely sort of a little bit like a Christmas day for greenkeepers when you can whiffle them in the shed.
Brian, Tom will be very happy.
I must admit, it was a bit of a slog back end of last year because, the winter started very early. We almost missed autumn. It went from summer to winter with the rains. And the hoops and the ropes had to go out incredibly early, which, to be honest, no one enjoys. But it's very important to protect the areas around the tees and greens at Ealing, and I'm sure now those areas are doing all right with grass coverage.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, massively.
Yeah,
I think there'd be a bit more patching up to do without the hoops and ropes.
Yeah, that's lovely. It's good. Yeah, it's nice. See the drain lines there on the third approach. See that?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I don't know if you're old enough to remember this, but that was like I remember playing one winter. I couldn't get to the third green because there was so much water, and it was like that front of the first. And then we put those in at 5 metre spacings, and transformation. But interesting. I bet not many of you members remember that. It's always you're moving on to the next wet bit. So. But I remember these areas, and the fourth as well, the front of the fourth. Getting from the fourth tee to the fourth fairway was a challenge. That was an interesting challenge.
Yeah, definitely. That fourth fairway is probably one of my favourite ones. That and the 17th, obviously, just for unbelievable, right? How much easier they are to make.
Much better they are.
Yeah. I should have put some. I think I might even have some wet pictures in here for just a comparison later on.
Okay.
Before we went dry, but
okay.
Third again. Moving on. Just other stuff we've been doing. Obviously in the sun, weather's dried up. Same thing. I've been trying to sort of sneak back into jobs wherever I can that we've not done because of the wet. And basically how long. So every now and then I've been sort of trying to get out there in the afternoons, the occasional sort of day, and basically clear up all the rough. So again, something that probably members won't be used to is coming back into or having it in May and April and having absolutely sort of minimal grass height in the rough.
Mm.
But the best times obviously try and collect that and scarify, so you're vertically cutting the grass, all the lateral growth. So every time someone hits a ball in an area and they can't find it, this will basically thin the grass out, and then hopefully it won't be as thick. So for the members who spray it around a bit, I know I'm definitely one of them. Greg hits pretty much the right side of every rough. It'll basically make play quicker, better, more fair, give you a chance to find your ball, but hit it out. So I've been trying to get back into there to thin those areas out.
The wispy hay, as I call it.
Wispy hay, that's right.
Never quite wispy, but definitely hay.
Yeah, but definitely a massive benefit of, sort of having great weather and no one around.
That fairway looks pretty nice.
Yeah, 10. So that's again, same hole. So obviously the rough's now gone on either side. That will just slowly grow. And stripes starting to come. So this was last week.
Okay.
So back end of last week. So now you can start
good in the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
I mean, Ollie, I don't know what it's definitely a bit of a change now, isn't it? The last week or so.
Yeah, just trees, all leaves coming out, and it's definitely one of my favourite times of year. Just seeing the golf course sort of transform and everything green up.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it, when it all starts evolving and as you say, all the greenery starts coming on the trees and everything's nice. Yeah, nice time of year, definitely.
Yeah, that was another sort of one of those jobs that we sort of haven't done in 3-4 weeks. Suddenly we get on top of the golf course, get the cutting done and get the streamers out and basically sort of do a makeshift version of what we would normally throw 3 guys out doing bunkers. Because everyone's here. Yeah. And pretty much just trimmed all the edges, blown all the grass out, which was ridiculous amounts. Mm-hmm. And then we've left the bunkers as they are, sort of raked every now and then, basically just to keep on top of the ones which we put new sand in. Yeah. Because I've just put a lot of time in. Most of the time, the only thing we're repairing with bunkers at the moment is either fox damage or, believe it or not, digging from families who are coming to play in all the sand. That is pretty much it.
Yeah,
Hopefully, maybe when the members get back, we won't see as many footprints from golfers as there is in that bunker.
Okay.
But main reason, we've got all the footprints in as well. Another thing we've just been doing, trying to think outside the box, just spray all the bunkers off with weed killer to stop all the grass coming through. Because basically, when you don't rake them, weeds are not getting disturbed, nor is grass, and they can start overtaking the bunkers. So, Ollie did that the other day.
Good man. Good man.
7th green.
Yeah.
Hopefully, didn't do a stunner.
Yeah. 16.
Yeah.
Just
nice.
Half the stuff starting to come in.
Yeah.
Not really stripes yet, but you will see that. Again, that's probably a sort of 2 weeks into the lockdown. Stands finally probably just getting on the sidewinder mower. So again, we've been slowly stepping up the mowers. We haven't just gone straight out because of the height.
Yeah.
Difference there with the bunkers, which we didn't get round to yet on that one.
Yeah.
The queues of families in the background waiting to break through the fence. Classic.
Yeah.
So, just little bits.
Yeah.
Greens that's another thing as well. I think there's a question about it later on, but I might just touch it quickly. Just heights slowly coming down. So after maintenance, we started at sort of 3.5 mil cutting the first one.
Yeah. And
then we're slowly coming down, and currently we're sitting at 2.7 mil.
Okay.
And I think as a team, we all sort of discussed it. Yeah. It's something we've sort of never done before. And believe it or not, sometimes you think, golf course has got to be better for not having any golfers on it or not being cut every day. I think we all agreed that the greens look worse for not being cut regularly.
Definitely.
And being left above 3 mil looked horrible.
So
the plant's not used to it. Plant's not used to it. Likes being cut tight.
It's like it's been given a holiday, and No, it's mad. Everyone was asking me for pictures. I didn't really want to send any, if I was honest. They kind of look better now, though.
Yeah, good.
So
Yeah.
I think he was waiting for that big growth to kick in as well, because although it'd been quite sunny and whatnot, it's only been the last couple of weeks we've actually had a bit of warmth in it. Get a bit of warmth in the soil and get the grass growing.
No, exactly. I think, it just needs, as I say, I find Ealing gets a little bit crusty in April, so it just needs a bit of bit of rain just to freshen everything up a little bit, really. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay.
Keep rolling through.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ollie, do you want to say anything? I've just got to see this a picture of the 9th. Maybe do you want to talk about the bunker project and maybe what we've done now and what we've decided to do once, obviously, the lockdown came in with money-wise and staff-wise?
Yeah. So I think there are a few questions from the members just about the sort of bunkers and the sand that we use and sort of what our theories are and what we've been doing with them. So each year we do sort of top the bunkers up, as we like to say, and we sort of run on two theories doing this. There's the spin a bit out to give them a bit of colour theory, and there's the sort of complete renovation theory, which is what we've gone for this year on the green sides, because we haven't done it for a good couple of years that way. I don't think it's something, it doesn't need to be done that way every year. That would be a bit overkill, but yeah, every 2-3 years, I think it's a good thing to do. So it basically involved the guys scraping a good inch of the old sand out of the bunkers. This is all done by hand. So yeah, good few hours spent in there on the shovel. So just getting that basically contaminated layer out of the bunker. I'm sure a lot of you will remember a lot of them, sitting wet, especially with the winter we've had, and it's basically where the sand gets contaminated with clay from worm casts, divots, grass clippings, various things. And it caps the drainage over in the bunker. And just creates a pond effectively. So we get rid of that where we can, or where we thought it was necessary in some of the worse ones. So this is the Greenside bunker on the 9th, which used to sit very wet, especially at the in the front pocket there. We would scrape right away and find the drainage line. We'd renew that where necessary, using either fully renewing the pipe and then putting shingle around that to protect the pipe, and then the layer of sand, or just ensuring we cleared the line on top and put a good fresh layer of sand there so that the water can percolate through and drain away.
Yeah, nice. Lot of work.
Keep the bunkers playable. But yeah, and then finally the last step was filling the bunker with new sand. Is it the Red Hill 45, Greg?
That's right. Yeah, finer grain. Basically. Yeah.
So yeah, we fill that in, and we aim for around sort of 4 inches through the middle, sort of 2 to 2.5 around the faces, and then answering another question. I think Chris Baker asked one that was about it's a case of trying to keep it a bit damp. So it doesn't blow out then. So all that work you've done putting it in, you got to try and keep it in there, sort of let it bed in and settle in. So I think, but that would be one of the big benefits I think members will notice when they come back is the bunkers will be playing a lot better. Just it's a lot nicer hitting out of fresher sand. But slight benefit of the lockdown, it's had time to bed in. So they should really be good to go by the time you guys are back.
Just remember, members, the bunkers are hazards, though. Okay, you're not supposed to go in them. As I say to the captain, Brian Masterson, it's fairways and greens. Bunkers are a hazard.
And Brian, we know what shoes you own, so you best rake them on the way out, please.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. All right, we've got about 5 minutes left before we wrap up on this one, part one. So you just finishing them off there, Wes?
Yeah, I'll just fly through pictures. Some of the tees, obviously the first.
Yeah.
Start getting some
Looks
stripes.
good.
Nice morning.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Morning's been lovely, haven't they?
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. Tees look good.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the main thing. Obviously, with no wheels effectively or marks, you don't get any traffic. All the rough around the edges of the tee box are starting to thicken up.
Yeah.
That's
the Ealing look we will. That's the Ealing look we like in spring. Nice definition.
For the 7th tee, the stripes are starting to real dial in.
tees are definitely coming on nicely.
Yeah.
13.
Stripes.
The trees and stuff are coming in.
Yeah, nice. Looks good.
That's for later on, someone's question. That is today.
Okay,
so that is
lovely.
That is the 17th.
Yeah.
Standing on top of the fairway mower for that one.
You can see the drain line there, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay, this is sneaky.
We'll probably leave these ones to the next. Maybe we'll talk about this in the next one, because I've just put these pictures in, but just to give people a couple of indications of some changes, if they can spot them. We'll talk about it in the next, but still covering the drain lines. Like you said, the birds are still hammering everything.
Yeah.
8 today.
Nice.
6.
See the birds there?
Yeah, there's a lot.
Crow Central.
Yeah, there's a classic birds.
Yeah, pecking away. Yeah. Leather jackets again. Okay.
7.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's really nice.
Yeah, starting to come on. Some stripes coming in.
Yeah.
There you go. That's Rob. That's some sort of really wet patch areas that we've started to turf.
Where's that? That's the second, isn't it? Yeah.
That's
second.
Yeah. What Ollie was saying. Also, you get your peaks and your troughs. Some have got ridges in. Anything with basically a trough in the bottom.
Yeah.
Water does not move out of that. Doesn't go through the clay. Kills everything in it unless you can get it into a drain pipe or off. And we just found through the 4.5, 5 months of rain, it just killed the patches of fairway. So that's the rest of 2.
Yeah, looks nice. Yeah, I mean, we've got plans to go in and put more drain. Like we noticed the top of 2 struggled this winter, even though we've got drainage at 10-metre centres. The plan is to go in and put some more drainage in between that and narrow that down to 3, 4, 5-metre centres. But obviously coming out of this situation, we'll have to revisit that, but we definitely need to put some more drainage into areas, new and old, basically. Yeah
I think that's generally
okay.
all I've got so far. Just give you a sort of
that's good. That's really nice. I'm sure the members are getting very excited about it, like us all. Try and get back out there. Just let the members know we cut the approaches at 5.5 mil, which is quite funny because I had a course that spoke to me yesterday that cut their greens at 6.5 mil. So we cut our approaches a mil lower than someone else's greens. So that's always been one of my things. There is, when you play Ealing, you should have variety into the greens, either a long putt or a chip and run or a lob wedge. But I think it adds to the aesthetics and the playability of the golf course and how it looks and plays in season. So we've always been very keen to keep those nice and tight and have that look basically. But it looks great. Looks really good. Looks nice. See the oak tree at the back coming up as well. Greenery coming there. So it's all starting to come to life. Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Is that it, Wes, on your pictures there?
General pictures are done.
Okay. If you can just come out of that. Yeah, we're back. Okay. See my ball bit there. Don't worry about that. Right. Okay. That's I think that's pretty much part 1. Yeah. Got a couple of minutes left because I think they log us out of this Zoom thing. But the plan is we're going to come back into part 2, and we've got quite a few questions. There will be more of a question and answer session on that one. Really good to see the pictures that you've been taking out there. Now looks really good. So that's going to be that's pretty much part 1 done. So we will be back in a little while answering all your pressing questions. So speak to you all soon. Bye bye.
Ciao for now.
See you later.